For this celebratory event. Just as we're getting ready to start, I'd like to recognize everyone in the room again. And I'd like to do this at 29, just about 29 aims to pull up and recognize, starting from Alaji Olashufo of the 78 set, 1978 set. We also have Mr. Abayo Nadeno of the 1980 set. Boys, are you listening?
Let's clap for him.
1978, 1980, please clap. We have with us right now Mr. Shego Akonde.
All right.
Mr. Taiwo Obey. Mr. Shego Ayodeji. Boys, are you tired of clapping? Well, let's be clapping along today. Very good. Then we have Mr. Kayode Agobadejo, Mr. Aledio Shiru Ajayi, Mr. Soyaolu Olakule Olatokubo. We have Mr. Dejera Robi, Mr. Dele Taiwo, Dr. Demola Ojuleye, Mr. Johnson, who will run for Mr. Sheyi Ojuleye, we have Mr. Taiwo Amo, quantity surveyor Taiwo Amo, Sir Professor Kule Oloru. We should clap for personality. We also have Mr. Samson Mikubi, Mr. Ibika, I think that's called Lucy, Mr. Fumola Ade, Mr. Olaison Jones, boys, I can hear you, Mr. Taslim Abiola Layo, Brother A. Odetola. Okay. Mr. Sojo Ilake Reset, Mr. Taslim Abiola Layon, 81 sets, Brother K. Odetola, 81 sets, Mr. Shobajo Adeleke, 72, 76 sets. Can I hear you? Wow. Mr. Oduroye Ayoride, 1981 set. Mr. Bode Are, 1979 set. Pastor Obisoya Oludare, 1984 set. And wait for this, Mr. Ekishola Adebisi, 1972, 76 set. That's like 51 years ago. Mr. Steven. Oh, well, this is 1970, 74 cents. Up school. Up school. Up school. Can we have a round of applause for this dear boy? What's your name? Your name is Progress. We're in love today. His name is Progress. They're having progress. Everybody, a round of applause for him. Right, we're still waiting for our items today. You know, when got this brochure as a media studies researcher. A lot of things jumped at me when I saw this, and I started to interrogate. And then when I turned to the back of this brochure, I saw something. And I thought to myself, should I just see this something and keep quiet? I said, no, it will be right. So I'm going to share with you what I've seen at the back of this brochure. First of all, I saw man. Then I saw men. Do you have this brochure? You don't have the brochure? Don't worry, I will be your eyes. So I saw man. Then I saw men. Then I looked again. Then I saw 2 minutes man. Hey, 2 minutes man. Then I looked again. I saw real men. Boy, say real men. So, only the others can say 2 minutes man because they are. Then I looked again and I saw male coffee. Male coffee. Then I saw desire and performance. Say, what's going on here? 2 minutes man, real men, male coffee, desire and performance at its peak. The textual analysis of this advert only came Kaboom. Please put your hands together for Dr. Secret BioHerbs Male Coffee. They're co-sponsoring this event. Can you be upstanding, sir? Please let's give him another round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Celebrating today is on its way, it's actually here, and it's going to be stepping in here any minute from now. I'd like us to, there he is, let me be upstanding to welcome our icon for the day, Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi. Let's be upstanding as it is his way. And he's accompanied by his wife, Yellow Day, number is called Chariots of Fire. And I remember at the time that LTV, Lagos Weekend Television, started, this was the big tune. It's such a thrill to hear that number again. Attitude Band is making my day already. I don't know about you. It's a weekend to celebrate to wine and to dine. And as you can see, our icon being celebrated today is already sitting with his lovely wife, Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi, OFR, and his darling wife, Yalode Kolashade Ogunbiyi. I'd like to constitute the elevated table immediately now by asking Sir Professor Adekunle Olowo, the President IBHS. Oh, there you are, sir. I bow. Also with icon this afternoon is his son, Mr. Tokumbo Ogunbiyi. Can we please appreciate him? And we have to take away this flower because we don't want it to cover that glory. I'd like to welcome the Deputy National President, Mr. Gomez, to join the elevated table. Admiral, retired Rear Admiral Gomez, should please join the elevated table here. Please give him a round of applause as he makes his way. He's already in the hall. Thank you. This is a significant afternoon. Oh, there he is making his way. Can we give him another round of applause? I particularly like when men talk danshiki. It is so traditional, it's so cultural, it's a testament of the culture, the rich cultural fashion of the Yoruba nation. So there he is, making his way to the elevated table. Quickly, the man being celebrated today was described by the former Vice President of Nigeria as the elephant that never forgets. Are we together? Are we with me? Because I see a lot of side talks. And when we do that, I will not enjoy myself because I'm talking to myself. Please, let's make it a memorable one. I know when alumni members come together, there's a lot of backslapping, there's a lot of I know, but let's do this, and we will have time for that later. So I was saying that the man we're celebrating today was described by the former Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Ogunbiyi, as the elephant that never forgets. Please clap for that. Then, former Governor of Ogun State, Chief Oshoma, declared about the man we're celebrating today. He said this man brought intellectualism to journalism in Nigeria. Another applause. This man that we're celebrating today is a former member of the editorial board of the Guardian newspaper. Another round of applause. He's also a former executive director, marketing, corporate affairs of the same paper. Don't be tired though, after like that. Now this man wasn't just a Guardian persona. He was also the former managing director of Daily Times. Boys, are you with me? Old school. You see, this icon we're celebrating today was a former senior prefect in what? 1965. Can I hear your applause? And just this April, this year, he launched his memoirs titled The Road That Never Forgets. Another round of applause. The Road That Never Forgets. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I'd like to welcome you to an unusual afternoon. Many times in our culture, we celebrate people after they must have passed on. But this is a lovely tradition that the Ibadan Boys High School has established. Celebrating people before they die. Letting them know how much they are appreciated. Letting them know that you celebrate their contribution to humanity. Celebrating their works along with them. And so on this note, I'm going to ask us all, respectfully, to please rise. Let us commit this event to the divine. And we're going to do that by singing the second stanza. Please let's be upstanding. By doing the second stanza of the national anthem, we're told as the national prayer. And afterwards, we will do the Oyo State Anthem, which is the Ashiwaju Niwa, and then we'll come to the school anthem, which I am looking forward to hear you sing. So if you're ready, let the band lead us with O God of Creation. Let's go. For those of us who are your honorary members, for those of us who are your honorary members, who are your guests also, when we saw Donny, Opera, Pro Bono, Publico, I said to myself, I may not understand the rest of what is there, but I understand Pro Bono. So it means that whatever this means, it means that there is something being done free of charge for humanity here. Well done, Ibadan Boys High School. Right. With this recognition, sir, before you came, the last time I saw you, sir, it was at the reading for the late Director General of Radio Nigeria, Mr. Zaini. Yeah, that's a long time ago. That's earlier this year. That's when I saw you last. And I think maybe, I'm not too sure now whether you were there, when we also did a reading for the memoirs of the former DG of NTA, who just launched his book recently too. That was also in February earlier this year at Roving Heights Bookshop, yes. You are a man of many parts and you grace these occasions gracefully. It's good to see you again, sir. And Iyalodema, it's good to see you beside him also sharing the glory today. For the past 3 months, I've been touring the Southwest Nigeria, talking with Iyalodes and Iyalojas on domestic violence, having town hall meetings all over the place. And the one we had in Ibadan was absolutely brilliant. I'm glad to know that you're one of the Iyalodes in the Southwest as well. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. Please, a round of applause for her. Iyalodes are important in community governance. They're important people, and I'm glad to be close to one, and a remarkable one at that. So moving on now, we've done recognitions before you came. I'm going to at some point do further recognitions. But now I must yield the microphone to a professor of medicine, a distinguished professor of medicine, Sir Professor Adekunle Kunle, the president of Ibadan Boys High School. Please, a round of applause for him.
It's third series of Ibadan Boys High School. Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi and the yellow lady, Mrs. Ogunbiyi. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to be gathered here to celebrate one of us. This is the second in the series, and we pray that every year, by the grace of God, we will always gather to celebrate one of us. I will not bore you now with so many items of information about the high school.
Prof, sir, I'm here. Please let me respectfully pause you. Boys? Hello, boys? Sorry? White. You have to keep your voices low. You know that the grandpa is talking. And what happens when elders are talking in your... Very good. Clap for yourself. All right, so please let's hear grandpa, okay? No noise.
Like I did say, I will not bore you down with so much items of information. Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi came into this school in 1961. We were in the same class and we left in 1965. However, we were friends before Ibadan Boys High School phase of our lives. And we have been friends ever since. This is a great occasion, and I'm privileged to meet his son for the first time. He will pay a price for that. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the program should take off now. I don't think we should give room to so many words, so that we will leave on time. I would like to call the gentleman in charge or the lady who handed over the mic to me. I think we are in for a pleasant evening, and we hope more of this will happen in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. That is not a robust round of applause. We can make it more robust. Boys, you're not clapping. White. Up, boys. Okay, that's the magic one. Okay. Right now, I think we're ready. And I must thank our president for that very short remark. The boys are filing in already. They're not waiting to be introduced, which is just okay because, I mean, it's the mark of youthfulness. They're going to be presenting a play. You know that our icon today is a doctor of dramatic literature. And this play is to celebrate him and his works. I'm going to yield the platform to these boys as they do the play. Can we appreciate them? Can we truly appreciate them? Where are the rest of you? Boys, you can come in now for your play.
We are IBHS chapter 1 group. We are presenting the project. Title, we are one. Title, we are one. We are one. We are one. Join me as I welcome an old man in a city in Nigeria. Nigeria. He had three children who are treated on the people Hausa and Yoruba, 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 Hausa and Yoruba. One morning, old man called his children. Hausa and Yoruba, Hausa and Yoruba, Hausa and Yoruba. To come and deliberate on what to do among themselves to be united, united. Yoruba, old man, they do this God. And you know me, as what other God, I think that strength can make us to be united. People, old man, they do this God. As you know me, as one of the gods, I don't think that strength can help us. Only God that can help us to be united. Hausa, old man, let's do this one. As you know me, as well as I've done, I know what my brother has said can help us, and it can really help us. Okay, what can help us? Space. The old man bow down his head and shut his door because his children were arguing. Yeah? The old man got out a stick of rope. He gave it to his children and The old man took a bunch of rope and asked them to break it. They collected it. We're breaking. What is breaking? I cannot break it. It's in his hand. Can you break it? Yeah, I cannot break it. This thing is getting out for me. Yeah? The old man stood up with his children and told them that this has not been broken once they are born. What have they done? They want to hold it up. Because they are one, 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 they are one. They are one. It's only the key, 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 only the key. He was born when an evil man took a sofa and six and born their woman. Based on the God, sir, I said that I found body there, stress, insolvency that made you to be better, but when you get to ask you live God, you put God, you put in the bed, you are God, you find trouble, you friend, there be Olùṣègùn Ọ̀pẹ́yẹmí Ògúnbíyí ìyàwó 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 ìyàwó. Okay, administration. Ògúnbíyí àtàyà rẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ìgbéyàwó alárinrin ọkọ àtàyà wọ́n ṣe àjọyọ̀ àti ọ̀rẹ́ ọkọ ijó lẹ́nu ọ̀nà ijó lẹ́sẹ̀ ìyàwó. Wọ́n fi jó mọ́lẹ̀, wọ́n jó bí odi, wọ́n jó bí odi. Àkàdí wọ́n ṣe ìgbéyàwó, wọ́n bọ̀, wọ́n darí wálé. Wọ́n fẹ́ fọ́ orí Yorùbá. Ọ̀pọ̀ ìyàwó máa gbẹ́dẹ̀ lọ kọ̀ọ̀kan, máa gbẹ́dẹ̀ lọ kọ̀ọ̀kan, máa gbẹ́dẹ̀ lọ kọ̀ọ̀kan, máa gbẹ́dẹ̀ lọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Orí yíwò wọ́n fẹ́ kọ́. Chinyere n'egwu ime ilele, chinyere n'egwu ime ilele. Chineke idima, Chineke idima, Chineke idima, Chineke idima, Chineke idima. Wọ́n ṣe ìgbéyàwó, wọ́n darí wọlé. Wọ́n lọ, wọ́n bọ̀, wọ́n lọ, wọ́n bọ̀. Òṣùpá ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ́ni gbèsè. Ó sì lẹ́yìn ọdún mẹ́wàá ọmọ àti àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ tiẹ̀ wọ́n bọ̀, wọ́n jó, wọ́n jọ, wọ́n jó, wọ́n jọ, wọ́n jó, wọ́n jọ. Inabwana inambebya, inabwana inambebya, inabwana inambebya, inabwana inambebya, inabwana inambebya, inabwana inambebya. wọ́n ṣe ọjọ́ ìbí fún ọmọ náà. Wọ́n jẹ́, wọ́n yọ̀, wọ́n jẹ́, wọ́n yọ̀, wọ́n jẹ́, wọ́n yọ̀, wọ́n jẹ́. Àhá ìyá àti àwọn ọmọ ìlọ́mọ tí wọ́n dú sí ilẹ̀ olúlu Ìgbò ó padà wá sí ilẹ̀ bàbá tirẹ̀. Ọmọ o èyí fẹ́ dàgbà o, ọmọ o èyí fẹ́ dàgbà, ọmọ o èyí fẹ́ dàgbà o, ọmọ o èyí fẹ́ dàgbà o, ọmọ o èyí fẹ́ dàgbà o, ọmọ o èyí fẹ́ dàgbà o. Ẹ bá ń gbọ́ wọn sí gbogbo ẹ bá ń gbọ́ wọn sí. Ó ti dàgbà ó ti dògbò ọmọ mi. Ó ti dàgbà ó ti dògbò ọmọ mi. Ẹ bá ń gbọ́ wọn òkè. Ẹ bá ń gbọ́ wọn òkè. Nàti nàti ẹ bá ń gbọ́ wọn òkè. Nàti nàti ẹ bá ń gbọ́ wọn òkè. Ẹ bá ń gbọ́ wọn òkè. Àhá. Ọmọ dàgbà ó dògbò ó dàgbà ó dògbò. Àhá.
I'm told they're not done yet. The singers and dancers are here. Can we appreciate the first performance as we move on to the second performance of these brilliant children?
Yeah.
nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn nínú Olúyọ̀lé àti ìwáyé kámẹ́rà àrùn kankan lára ìjà lọ́wọ́ ní àrùn Ìbàdàn ọmọdé gbọ́dọ̀ fẹ́ ni wọ́n ẹ̀sà ọ̀gbìn ọlọ́kọ̀jọ́ lọ́dẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn ni lọ́sọ̀dẹ̀ ọ̀bí àwọn oníkèwàrà tó ní tàlé tí mo dẹ́gbẹ̀ o ọmọ òjò ẹ̀rọ omi yóò jò àná yóò jò ọ̀nà yóò jò iwájú yìí eégún ẹ̀yìn eégún ọ̀tún eégún òsì eégún ọmọ eégún ìyá ọlọ́kọ̀jọ́ lọ́dẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn ni eégún ní mẹ́fà ló fún ilé ìpínlẹ̀ lọ́bìnrin yóò káwé bàtà ní mẹ́fà ní ìdájẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ lọ́bìnrin yóò káwé ẹ̀wù ní méjì ìgbòho ẹ̀wọ̀n ṣe gbogbo ti lù bára ní àjẹ́ ẹni bá ní Ìbàdàn tí ò fojú lówó ẹ̀rú pé ní àbàtì nínú fún àbàtì wọn lẹ́rù lọ. Abẹ́bí ìdàrà àti ṣe àti ṣe ládùúgbò ládùúgbò omínà burú àwọn òbí ṣọ̀ọ́ta o ládùúgbò àwọn òbí ṣọ̀ọ́ta o ládùúgbò. Let's appreciate these drama kings again. Bando, you have another thing for us. We have Ibadan Boys High School band. Okay. And another. Has to be introduced and introduced properly. And to do that much more than I can do is the current principal of IBHS, Dr. Rashid Masasi. He'll be introducing us to what we're
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because we are celebrating excellence today, and we are celebrating a man of excellence today, I want to present to you the result of a 3-year plan which was clinically executed. 3 years ago, we made up our mind to overthrow the traditional winner of the independent anniversary past match. So first year, I hired a trainer who did everything. And we thought we should have gotten the position, but we didn't get it. We now looked at why we didn't get it, and we got the answer. So last year, we got the T crossed and the I dotted. And then, despite everything, we came third in Oyo State. This year, precisely last Sunday, 1st of October, which was the 63rd anniversary, independence anniversary of Nigeria, we told them we were coming. And somebody told me from the Ministry of Education, he told me it was not possible. I said, let's wait and see. Precisely the local inspector of education here said, do you think it is possible? I said it's possible. And he said it is not. I said, you are a liar. Then you will know. So on Sunday, my boys in their white were all on the blue top at Lake Salami Stadium in Ibadan. We had the government college boys displayed. We had the Union College, all these established known colleges. And we were second to the last. So they did everything. But we were saying, we were making a statement. You have seen all. You are just about to see the best. Today, I present to you the number one in Oyo State. The current champion. Team IBHS. White. Can you come forward? Round of applause for that. We have not had the opportunity of presenting the third position score. And that is what we're first. Now, the third position last year. Okay. So today the national president will be receiving the trophy for third position and the trophy for the first position.
Yes, sir.
We are not going to do that. You want to talk, please talk. The national president has offered to come out. I didn't say he should come out. So on behalf of the management of the school, and on behalf of these boys who have made us proud, we present to you our third position cup first. And one of the leaders, the boy is just short, but it's one of the leaders of the group. A round of applause for him. You can see it written there. The second independence celebration, third position, marked as 63rd anniversary of Nigeria. We are promising you a round of applause for these boys. I can see elderly people standing up. Another round of applause for the champions. Thank you so much.
Congratulate this.
Sorry.
Sorry, sir. Thank you. I'm so sorry. What position is she? This man. This man.
And we've been basking in this special God's blessing and the development of in Jesus' name. Once again, congratulations.
Okay.
Keep getting to greater heights. Almighty God will
He's
be
the
with
president. He
you.
was one that gave the station. I have it.
A round of applause for these brilliant children. What's the name and again? Ibadan Boys High School. Ibadan Boys High School. A round of applause, boys. I was telling our general in our mission now, I said, principal, you wanted to spoil their parade. That boy agreed. He wanted to then went out. Forgive you. We forgive you. A round of applause for the principal. He had a goal and he achieved that goal. He didn't master 3 years to get there, yeah. But he got it at the end of the day. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the afternoon, it's been well spent. At this juncture, I'd like to say what I think should stand for citation. However, it's an excerpt. Our icon's memoir. And this is going to be a prelude to the next item on the program, which is 60 minutes with the honoree. And I'm going to invite 2 people, this elevated space. White, boys. This microphone is Dabudaji something. So please bear with us, change to another microphone. Yeah, over there. So I'm going to try and manage this. But it gives me great pleasure to introduce this man who's a proud IBHS alumna. He's a man well respected in media circles in Nigeria and beyond. man who loves capacity building. He loves capacity building, and it's been instrumental to the training of scores of journalists in Nigeria, both in the broadcast and the print sectors. He is a man leading the digital space in terms of capacity building in the Nigerian media. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome to this celebrated space the Executive Director and Founder of Journalism Clinic, Mr. Taiwo Obe. A round of applause for him. Mr. Taiwo Obe is well respected in Nigerian media. It's a testament to what IBHS has churned out for over 8 decades. Thank you. He's going to be hosting the honoree at this juncture, so I'm going to be yielding the mic to him. However, I'm not going to do that immediately. I'd like to warmly, and I'd like us to be upstanding as I invite our honoree, a man described as the elephant that never forgets, the man credited with bringing intellectualism to journalism in Nigeria, former member of the editorial board of the Nigerian Guardian, former managing director of Daily Times, former executive director of Marketing and Corporate Affairs Guardian, former senior prefect, Ibadan Boys High School, a doctor of dramatic literature, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi for you. Thank you very much. I'm now going to yield the microphone to Mr. Taiwo Obe to engage with our icon today. And when they're done, you will be having the floor to give your remarks about what they talked about and your personal experience with it. For now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, again, let's give it up for Mr. Taiwo Obe as it takes on from here.
Hello. All boys. You know what this all boys right I don't know when it started. Anyway, all boys. All boys. Okay, let's be quiet, please. Let us be quiet. Just listen. Without listening.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. When those children were doing the drama, they mentioned your names. Okay. Can we be quiet, please? I find it strange that you were born in Kano and you didn't have a house arrest. Why? You have an attorney.
Yes, I do. But before I take your answers, I'd like to, if you don't mind, first to thank the president of the Old Boys Association, my friend and classmate, Professor Kunle Olo. I thank him for being gracious enough to ask me to come here for this event, and to also thank another brother and friend, Mr. Taiwo Obe, for this event. Kule and I were classmates here. But I met him before I came to Boys High School. And Kule and I used to fight a lot at school. We fought a lot. And I'll tell you why we fought. He was, as you can see, still very good looking. But as a young kid, he was very good looking. But unfortunately for him, he didn't know how to handle his girlfriends. I wasn't as good looking, but I was better at handling girlfriends. So I had more girlfriends than he did. So he was jealous. That jealousy led to fights between us. Because I had more girlfriends than he did. But I want to thank him, and on a more serious note, to say that Kule's life is a testimony to the things we learned in this school. That is, if you are determined, you will succeed in life. When we left school, Kule wanted to be a medical doctor. For some reason, we don't have inside the country. He didn't get into a medical school, but he was determined. And he said he would be a medical doctor. He went abroad, became a medical doctor, came back here, became a professor of medicine, and that's a testimony to the kind of lessons we learned in this school. Kule reminds me of the things I learned here as a child. And so I want to thank him again for agreeing that I be here for this event. I want to thank my younger brother, Taiwo. When Taiwo and I met at the Guardian, I didn't know he had come to this distinguished school. I thought Taiwo was like my son, who went to a very bad school called King's College, Lagos. I didn't know that Taiwo and I shared a lot in common. And so I want to thank him and to say that something I've never said to him, that in some ways I owe my writing skills as a journalist to his insistence on particular standards. He doesn't remember this. When I wrote in those days, Taiwo, who was younger than I, who was in fact, who were colleagues, but I was the director of the company. So when he tried to make me do certain things correctly, we quarreled. But again, he was right. So I want to thank him because that's also something that I learned in this school. That you must be humble. Humility gets you anywhere in life. I learned that in this school. So I want to thank him again for asking me to do this. So now to your question, but in also saying this, I want to quickly welcome my wife, Yalode. Yalode's older brother is an old boy of this school. He's 8 now. But Yemi was here before me, he was in class before me at Ibadan Boys High School. He's not with us anymore, but at the time I was there, of course, I didn't meet her, I didn't know her. But Yemi Oshimeru, as he then was a student of this school. And so I'll take a question, but also with me, of course, is my son, but there's also with me here, Professor Yomi Turutwe. Yomi, again, is not as lucky as I have been. He didn't come to this school, but it doesn't matter. Professor Turutwe is here with us. Please let's welcome him, my very good friend. Thank you. So now to your question, Taiwo. Yes, I had, when I was in this school, I had a nickname. Who remembers that? My nickname was Garuba Vincent. It was a nickname I was given by, I don't remember who now, but if you remember, when I wrote in the school magazine, The Triumph, sometimes I wrote my pen name, and it was Garuba Vincent. Even though I was on a editorial board, before I got to the editorial board, I wrote a few things in the school magazine, Triumph. Do we still have Triumph? Yes. So and in those days, to belong to the Triumph was something highly, you have to be, it was privileged in the of the editorial board. Because last day was the chairman of the editorial board. So that was the editor. That was the, I think the other chief was supposed to be once at some. Anyway, it was something you look forward to. And when I got appointed to the editorial board, I loved it. I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly. And at that time, as I said, I wrote with that student, Garuba Vincent. Thank you.
So was it a nickname or a name?
It was
from Kano.
there was a nickname. Now I know where you're headed, but I know where you're headed. The thing about my life, maybe I should share that with my distinguished old boys. I was born in Kano. My mother was Igbo. My father was, of course, Yoruba. My first language of communication was Hausa as a child. And are there any Igbo speakers in the hall? Anybody that speaks Igbo here? No, nobody. No person who does. Where are they are Igbo speakers? Yes, you speak some Igbo. Only one person. All right. So as a child, up until I was, because this thing is important to explain why I wrote my memoirs. My memoirs is an attempt to address the issue of self-identity. Self-identity is a very complex phenomenon. It's not something that's tangible. Self-identity, Erickson, professor of great American professor of psychoanalysis, described self-identity as intuitive cultural underpinnings that define the essence of our being. You know, they're not things you can handle. They're intuitive. So let me dramatize self-identity to you and what it meant for me as a child. So between the ages of 5 and 7 and 8, we would go down Sabongari in Kano, singing Igbo masquerade songs. And where are the Igbo speakers? You hear? Are you sure? Alright, so we go down singing Igbo masquerade songs. Oni sike chanoso. Makamama ne bonamado. Onyokulo nani. Oyoyoyoyo. Mwasempanya na gubaluba. Imago moniva. Agoje pole pato yopya. Ohodo kwelo. Iya. Imago moniva. Iya. Imago moniva. Iya. Now, I was 8 years old. I spoke not a single word of Yoruba. And then at age 10, I was brought here by my father to see my grandmother in a place called Ipara, where my father was born. And so my grandmother saw me. She was ecstatic with joy. She put me on her laps and she was chanting my oriki. Remember, I didn't speak a word of Yoruba. And my grandmother put me on her laps. Omo Ogun, Omo Akebi Oro, Omo Balogun Dodo Ndawa, Omo Abogun Bodibu, Omo Okita Leku, Ajeni Gbedebe, Omo Pasheda, Aramaku, Omo Lagbedo, Don Paliaro. She went on and on and on. And I said to my uncle, I said, what is she saying? Because I didn't understand what she was speaking in Raymond. What is she saying? But intuitively, as she put me on her laps, intuitively, this is where I refer to self-identity. Intuitively, at that moment, I said to myself, this is where I come from. I was a child. It was intuitive. Something at that point said to me, this is where you belong. This is your home. I didn't have to be told, but there was something about self. So when Erickson talks of intuitive underpinnings, that was it. And so this boy, who was born in Kano, who went from Kano to Ibadan Boys High School, where he spoke not a word. When I arrived here, my first encounter with Yoruba literature was Iboju Ode, Boy Woman. Does anybody remember the first line of that book? The first line? Be away, I didn't know what that meant when I arrived here. And I said to myself, Mr. Pastor May was my Yoruba teacher. And I said, sir, I don't even speak the language. I can't even read the alphabet. So I went back to scratch. RBG, I had to learn from scratch. And this same boy was born by a neighbor woman in Kano. Went from here, went to Lagos, went abroad, came back to Ibadan. I was 5, got married, and came back to Ipara as Balogun of Ipara. And Aremo and Haribo. Now, that's an unusual story. That's what inspired this book. I needed to tell that story in a way that tries to connect all these if you like, links from this boy who was born in Kano, spoke only Hausa as a child, came up to Ibadan, didn't speak a word of Yoruba. Here in this school, I started to read Yoruba for the first time. And so so to go back to your answer, to your question, so that's the story. That yes, I mean I had those names, but it didn't matter to me. I was everywhere, and my life was a life that bears testimony, because when I was writing this book, when I was finishing the book, I'm glad that I went to the elections in Lagos, where somebody in Lagos State, whose mother is Igbo, was told that you could not be governor of Lagos State because your mother was Igbo. So I said to myself, so what would have happened to me if I wanted to be governor of Ogun State? Somebody's going to say to me, look, yes, I mean, you are Aremo Akaripo, but your mother was Igbo. Now, that was painful for me. So our country, when I was born, it wasn't that way. When I grew up in Kano, nobody knew where you came from. It didn't matter. What mattered was the fact that Kano was home to us at that time. Suddenly, we're back to where now, and yet in Osun, the governor of Osun State is a proud son of an Igbo woman. Yes? Am I right? Yes. So in writing this book, now the idea was to tell that story in a way that tries to connect all the dots. And a vital part of that component of my life is this school. Everything I've become, I said in my book, I became, by the grace of God, but because I came to this school. If I had gone elsewhere, and I said to well, I would like to, if you don't. Yes. Yes.
If you are another journalist is top flight, he has answered some of the questions I wanted to ask him. So I'm going to now, I am the one that is supposed to be interviewing. So we are going to have a conversation.
Okay.
Do you want to read part of that has something to do with what you took away from it?
At some point, I would like to. At some point.
So, you came here on the 60th anniversary of your mission?
Yes. Almost to the day. I came here almost to the day when I arrived there as a 40-year-old kid. 13-year-old kid. And I came here almost to the day, 60 years to the day. I was writing this book, and I needed to come back here to get a feel what it was like for me as a child. And I spent an entire day, and I think principal was there. I'm not sure whether was around. Yes, I think you were here when I came 2 years ago. Yes, we met, and the kids, it was for me overwhelming. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I stood by them, and I said to myself, was I this young when I was there as a child? Because I looked at them, they were so young. And it was quite moving for me. And I'm glad that in the book, I said to the publishers, make sure that the photograph is on the big cover of the book, so that my story can be told properly. At that point, I'm sorry.
I have a problem that the book is available.
Okay, yes.
The book is available for purchase. It's a fantastic book. I've read it.
Thank you.
And I have read it.
Thank you.
From cover to cover.
Thank you.
Which is why I know quite a few things that I was when I was getting the president. They met at High School.
Yes.
You know.
Back to school. Back to school.
What would you say that is basically, how did you decide to come to that process? What was the decision, the turning point?
All right. Now, I didn't decide to come here. Yeah, I was living with my cousin, Mr. Lekbede, and when the results of the exams we did came out, I was admitted to Ibadan Grammar School and Ibadan Boys High School. I don't know why my uncle picked here, but my uncle, I had just come from the north. I didn't know Ibadan. I was a proper JJC in this town. And so I fully will bear testimony to this. But my uncle, my cousin decided that I would come here. He had a friend. I think he had a friend here. He started Mr. Cole, who was then, I think was Bossa. I don't remember what from, but it was a guy who had tribal maps. I think Mr. Nick Bene was my cousin, and I called my friends. I think somehow they persuaded him to let me come here. And so I gave up the admission to my grammar school and came here. That's one.
And you eventually became senior prefect.
Yes.
Maybe you want to tell us that story of how you became senior prefect.
Well, okay.
Meanwhile, maybe how many senior prefects, former senior prefects are here? Can you stand up, former senior prefects?
I think Admiral Akintola is one. Admiral, yes, Admiral is one. Oh, very good. Lovely. Great. Not too many of us there, that's fine. Admiral, please sit down, sir. Let me tell the story. Again, in this book, I said something about how Boys High School molded my life. And I didn't say it lightly. It wasn't a light one. From one, I was class monitor. From one, from two, from three, I was class monitor. And from three, I became the bellboy. Now, bellboy, I don't know what happens today, but in those days, as bellboy in the boarding house, I was in the Sunday house. And by the way, I apologize, I didn't sing the school song. When I was there, we didn't have a school song. So I didn't know it. I mean, the school song became a reality after I left school. Anyway, so in the boarding house, we had a bell. And I would have to wake up at 5:30 to ring the bell. If I failed to ring the bell, there'll be chaos. If I rang the bell too early, there'll be wahala. So, and I couldn't afford, as I said in my memoirs, what is this? Oh dear.
Let us, we are ready to talk. You know who is here? The first Apa Ola Odea. 91 and counting.
You have to go.
Next time, okay, we continue. We have to stop.
All right, okay. So the question was, how to become senior prefect? And so I was saying that all the leadership lessons I picked up from there. In Form 4, I was picked to go to Man Owabe course in Kura Falls in Jos. I was picked because an old boy, General Alabi Sam, I didn't know at the time that he was the one that sponsored my trip to Kura Falls from Man Owabe It was called Leadership and Citizenship Training Course in Kura Falls. Now, don't forget that in those days, I don't know what happened after we left. In those days, appointment of a senior prefect was done discreetly. In other words, members of staff would sit down with Mr. Lasende and will agree on the candidate for the office of senior prefect. But because I had gone on that, what was the first time in the history of the school, I had gone on this citizenship leadership training course in Jos. I think there was a feeling amongst my classmates that I might become senior prefect. I came back from the course ended, and there were 4 of us from Western region in those on the course. 2 young men from Government College Ibadan, Bayo Guruku and Adeusi. Myself and another young man from Christ School, Adoikiti. 4 of us were picked for that year's program. When I came back, I was pleasantly surprised when I was informed. Usually, in those days, we used to have on Fridays, last Friday of the year, it was the old school hall, we would stand in front of the office of Salasende, and they would address us. And at that point, I think he had not, I'm not sure, I think I was announced when I came back in 65 that I was senior prefect. But other things happened, and I should mention that quickly. In 1964, no, 60, no, 65, anyway, that's the story. So, 64, when I came back from the course, it became clear that I would become, before that, I had a very good rapport with Mrs. Oyeshino. Mrs. Oyeshino, we didn't have a boarding house master. The boarding house master was laid off at the end of 64. So I combined the role of one of the most senior boys in the boarding house with instructions from Mrs. Oyeshino on how to do certain things in the boarding house. So it was, most people assumed, I've been head boy, I've been class monitor for 4 years, I've been bell boy for about 2 years. And being bell boy was a tough job. And in those days, as I said, I could not afford to wake up later than 5:30. If I woke up at 6, there would be trouble, there would be chaos. So I had to ring the bell to wake up at 5:30. One day, for some reason, I woke up at 4:30 and rang the bell. I don't know how happened. But somehow, nobody woke up. I think they knew that something was wrong. But remember also, when I rang the bell, it was a big bell. Most people in the neighborhood relied on that bell. It was like an alarm for them. So I had to get it right. And so I couldn't afford to be ill or to be sick. I had to be up. And one day we had exams. And I was trying to finish my last question. But I had to go and ring the bell. And I was hungry, so I had to stand up, go ring the bell. My classmates, they have more time to write. I didn't have the time to write. I had to go ring the bell and to come back. And I thought I was being cheated. But that's what I learned at this school. The leadership also calls for a lot of commitment and self-sacrifice.
I hope we are all following and enjoying it, especially the students. What I wanted to ask, and I think maybe that would be my, in the book, Professor Gate asked you a question which is very being answered. So I want to be asked that question, which is, why does everybody like you?
No, that's not the way.
Well, I mean, essentially,
That's not the way. That's not the way.
Everywhere that we are gone, we are the most charming.
No.
What do you imagine?
No, that's not fair. I think there are people who don't like my face. Oh, there are people who can stand me. I mean, I don't know them, but I can. Oh, not in the school. In the school here. Oh, okay. In the school, well, I don't know how how to explain that. I think in the school, people came around me. Look, I always went to Kano on holidays. And every time I came back, I brought back a lot of things from the north. Plenty of peanuts, plenty of, we had a big, massive, I don't know what you call pigeons now. Pigeons on a large, anyway. So I would come back with fried chicken, and so people relied on me, and I think PJ was right, that I was generous with the things I had. So I tended to pass easily with things. So that was it. I mean, maybe that's, but in terms of liking you, I just managed to be myself. When I left school, I don't think, what PJ meant was that of all of us who were classmates, who were contemporaries, that I tended to get on better with older persons around me. In other words, to give examples of Professor Wale Shoyinka, who was our teacher, and that I got on better with Shoyinka than everybody else. He mentioned the fact that I was very close to Mrs. Oyeshino when I was a kid, and I would go there and eat or be fed, and she had such great love for me. Now, PJ was surprised that I was able to do this. And my answer to PJ is that I don't know how to explain that. It's not me. At the Guardian, you know that we are called. There were those who didn't like me at the Guardian, who didn't like my face. I was fired at the Guardian, I was laid off. If they liked me, they would have sacked me. I was sacked. So it's not true that everybody, it's just that somehow I manage my way with persons who are older than me in a way that lets me get by with them. And the examples are numerous. I mean, after I left, even here at Boys High School, Mr. Alassane was very funny with me. I knew that, but I couldn't explain why. And even if I wasn't going to be head boy, you could tell. And he wanted me to be head boy, even when I was in Form 3. But he didn't teach us any classes. We just some interaction here again in the hall. That was it. So I think I'm gratified that that's the way I'm perceived by friends like you. But all I can say is that BJ is right in one regard. I tend to be slightly, sometimes to a fault, generous with things that I have. I don't have attachments to anything that if a friend asks me for favors, I have 10 naira, you want 10 naira, I give it to you. But because, that's not because I don't think I need to keep the money, but that's where I am. I tend to part with things easily. And that has endeared me with your friend. That's me.
We will soon pass this mic to the floor.
Okay.
Let me just say that when we were in school,
yes.
We love to go to festival for parents meeting. There were girls who were people. Did you have one at that time?
Well, the girlfriend is St. Mary's College. Oh, yes.
Oh.
And I, unfortunately, oh, yes, no, the yellow is there, so she won't mind my saying. This was a long time ago. I had a girlfriend, she passed away during the Civil War. Her name was Grace Abua. We were very close. I mean, everybody knows on campus, in the school. But she passed away. I beat school to girlfriends. I had more girlfriends than he did. So he knows that. So I beat him to girlfriends. But the thing about those years was that we managed our relationships well with yeah, it was fun. We exchanged letters. It wasn't anything like what I hear now in schools like the country. I mean, the level of I suppose the word is perfectly. I can't describe it. I mean, I see many things. On those days, it was simple exchange of letters. We had times together. It wasn't anything like what I see today. So yes, I had girlfriends. I had a girlfriend in Central School. I had another one, and then the yellow is there,
round of applause for our iconic guests today. So now it's your turn to ask your questions and make your comments. So if you'd like to start, let me see your hands up and I'll come to you. That two tables, this particular table, are coming to you whether you like it or not after this first response. Please make it brief, your name, your set, and please a very, very short remark or question. Thank you.
All through. All school. My question, sir. And those go straight to the question.
Yes.
When you were here,
Yes, sir.
students, I am asked to this one, 1984 set.
Okay.
1984 set.
All right.
When you were here as a student, was there any senior that you today would love to see that was too much for you, that was somebody that you hated,
That
you hated,
that I hated.
that used to flog you on for any.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who was the person? Who is still the person? Then,
Well, why do you need that information? Why do you need that? I mean, we all go through school, and you have seniors. Look, I just met Senior Peter. He was such a lovely senior, and I saw him now. I was filled with joy seeing him. Senior Peter was very fun of us. He was so lovely as a senior. We had a few seniors who were difficult in their ways. We have to deal with them. Oh, please. No, I don't enjoy it. Who knows? Okay, all right. Let me satisfy you. I had one senior student in my first year. I know Mr. Lai, his name is Alabi. He wasn't even a school prefect, but he used to punish the hell out of us. Man, I couldn't understand why. One day, there used to be a tennis court in the system there. So he made somebody kneel down, and in the sun, the guy almost collapsed. But the young kids, we were 13 years old, and he was maybe 20 years old. And he made us kneel down. This guy almost passed out. One day, like said I should carry water. I had to put my hands up there, and I knelt down. It was terrible. Then listen to this, that I met him one day. Years after we left school. Let me tell you how I met him. His son was in King's College. And he had come, there's something called Parents Surprise Giving Day in King's College. That year, I was the keynote speaker. Usually, an old boy is invited to do the keynote speaking. I had only just come back. I was still at Ibadan. No, I think at that time, I was working at the government. I was invited to be the keynote speaker. As I came in, I looked at him, I said, I woke up and I said, are you not Mr. Labi? He said, yes. And I looked at him and I said, are you? I said, yes, this is it. And I looked at him, I looked at him one day. But I could have said to him, you were such a mean senior. But I was, and then he quickly got his son, introduced his son to me, and I was a guest of honor at the event, so it was nice for him to be sitting with me. So I took him up to the stage. But I was tempted to say to him, but you know something? I mean, my memories of you as a senior are not very good memories. But I suppose in life, this happened, and you were coming. We came for the funeral last Saturday in Ibadan. Yalode's senior was the wife of late Delege and Sehereta. When she was in Form 1, Mrs. Ige, who was buried last week, was in Form 5. We came from Lagos for the funeral because she kept saying to me that, oh, she was such a lovely senior. She never punished us. She was so loving. She was so nice. That's how we came for the funeral. Because she remembered that when she was in Form 1, Mrs. Ige was in Form 5 at Our Lady Ijebode. So those things you do, they matter. my appeal to our seniors who are still in school is when you deal with the younger, be nice to them. You never can tell what's going to happen tomorrow. Yes.
Thank you. Yes. It's a birthday. Yes, mommy. Yes, mommy. And I was a prefect as well. I was a good prefect. Yes, like from MITV Star FM. And one thing I'd like to say before I pass the mic to him is that they've generously supported this event by giving free coverage. Please a round of applause for MITV. And here goes to TM.
Good afternoon. My question is just a very simple one.
Okay.
1987. Most of the time before I passed out, when I was in Form 1, I always lose my uniform. Somebody else will have taken it. Or somebody else uniform to wear. How many pairs of uniform did you use when you were in school? And how did you keep your uniform white all the time?
Our uniform was white. It was white. Same white. Looking back now, as you ask that question, I never lost any uniforms at all. In fact, it was we wore shorts, wear blazers, wear school blazers, wear school ties, no, I never lost any of my uniform. I was very careful. I was a careful kid. No, I didn't lose any uniform. I don't think I did.
Okay.
By the way, governor of MIT, just as you were calling me, a call came through from Rufai Hosseini. He was calling me now. Said Rufai Hosseini of arrived. His father turned out was an old boy of the school. He was going to come with me. Rufai Hosseini of arrived. His father was an old boy of Ibadan Boys High School.
There is a question from Baba.
Senator Peters, please sit down, sir. Please sit down.
My name, Yemi Peters.
Yes, sir.
5963 cents.
All right, sir.
Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi.
Sir.
I know your center.
Huh?
Your set as school.
My set was 61 to 65.
I do know.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that
Okay.
I am very used to your set.
Okay.
You people are so brilliant. Nearly half of you, we can recommend you to attend our debate. I was the secretary of junior house that time, and I know your seat. I entered in 59. I think you entered in 60.
61, sir.
So I recommend to be in our team at the STC. What do you call it? St. Teresa's College. At STC. And I used to recommend yourself because you people are very neat.
Thank you, sir.
I used to call this peaceful Leo obesity. They stay in Agogogonia.
Yes.
Instead of as a great for some time, anytime it's coming to the school, is like this. Because you want to attract all these STC.
Yes, his older brother was there. That's true. Right.
I used to report it to his brother.
Yes.
His brother was my senior.
Okay, that's true.
So if his brother says he wants to punish me, I will punish the brother. Because it's attacking my girlfriend. And you know, as the secretary of your house, if I want to go to see any guy, it's very easy.
I think Professor Lowe should reply to you, sir. He has the right of reply.
Now my question.
Okay, sir.
People who achieve a lot, and I've been monitoring your work success. My question to you is, especially yourself, what are the contributions you are giving back to the people?
Very good question.
You know why I ask? I've been in the focus of the export is Old Boys Association.
Okay.
Right from its inception. And then, given the scenes, I don't tell us.
Okay, sir. Let me.
How far or what has been your payback to what you achieved?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That's a very good question. And I'm glad that Professor Lowe is my classmate. We're classmates here and is our current national president. But there's some not very good news, sir. Sadly, about half of us in that class are no longer here, have passed away. Sadly, we lost, for instance, General Junior Dusi a few years ago. We lost, I can give you a list of names of our classmates who are no longer with us, fortunately. But that's not to say that we shouldn't do more. I was just being confronted by Papa who said that they hope that I will be more involved now. We've always been involved as a set, and with that as a set, we did things amongst ourselves. But I want to rededicate myself. I want to assure Papa that I will be back fully. I am making some commitments to some of the projects that we are embarking upon. And Sir Peter, don't forget that. I know you think I'm young. I'm not as young as I was 20 years ago. So even though you look at me as yes, you're a junior here, at 76, I'm no longer a very young man. But I will give it my shot. I will try my best. I will, if Papa Mo is still doing so much for us, I have no excuse at all. No reason not to do as much as I can do. But so I want to assure you, sir, that I will using fully, we'll begin again to see what we can do as I said. I will on my own initiate some move. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
I respect my senior. I will have sought the services of.
If you hold it like this, if you hold it down.
Okay. I will have sought the services of Allah. But the senior is always a senior. So, senior Peters, I will not take up any legal action. Now to my brother who is seated on the hot seat. I'm happy that this is happening when I'm in the service.
when I'm in the cockpit is the love story. There are a few things I would love to ask you. I want you to say a few words about seniors, Jayesi, Olabisi, Ogidebe. It is a pity we've lost a lot of our classmates. There was a day I raised an issue with you when I was trying to see how we can put in more efforts on 61, 65 states. And you made a statement that got to my bone marrow. You said, Kule, how many of us are remaining? Say something also about Ladogo. You may be more correct. It was our class. I haven't heard from him. It was a brilliant guy. We are lucky in ourselves. We had the services of the American Peace Corps. And our sciences were well handled. And I think, as I said, we were well articulated about where we wanted to be. And God, of course, gave us His blessings. It is a pity that we are not as firmly on the ground as one would have loved to be. Say a few things. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. The Ogunbiyi, Professor Ogunbiyi, he passed away about 10 years ago. Yeah, he passed away about 10 years ago. When I was in Form 1, he was senior prefect, and he was professor of chemical engineering at IFE, and took ill and died. The giant siblings have also passed away, both of them. The older one died before the younger one. The younger one was also professor of chemistry in IFE. He also passed away. Olabisi, Professor Gogi Olabisi, who was senior prefect in my second year, lived in Saudi for many years, professor of engineering, I think, and then went on to live in the US. He still lives there. When I was writing my memoir, I wanted to find out more about him, so I went, I googled his name, and something very, very sad. I found that in his biodata, there was no reference to the fact that he came to Boys High School. And I was saddened about that. And then I found at the bottom that he went to Government College Ibadan. Now, that's fine. And I want to say something with some pride. When I was writing this book, I said I would devote a chapter to the Boys High School to show what it did for me. I couldn't believe that, because when I go to King's College for higher school, and people said, oh, this grade was a piece of cake compared to the training I received here at this school, finally. But I didn't see, and BJ makes a point, BJ is professor of, who wrote the foreword of this book. BJ says that I made a nice comparison of the benefits of having come to a school like this against the benefits of going to a government school. For me, one comes out, I didn't feel that I was better as a human being because but I was saddened by Olabisi's attempt to delete from his records the fact that he came here. Now, I don't explain why, but I think I've been first old boy to write extensively as I've done about this school in a book, and I let anybody to say so, because I took my time with it. I came here, I did some research. I had the book, somebody wrote the book, by the way. It's a biography of the evolution of my good friend, professor of history. His name Omalewa. We call him Omonke. Omonke wrote a lot of books. Let me the book, because I called him up and he said, look, there's some book you're going to need for your memoirs. So, Oladoku also became professor of engineering. He was at the school in university. I don't know where he is now. Because somebody, I'll find out. I know somebody knows his cousin. Retired admiral of the Navy, who plays golf with us at the Growing Club. I will ask him.
Right.
So I think the point that Senator Peters made, Senator Peters, again, we will dedicate ourselves to the kind of things we want us to do here. I will come better prepared. When next we meet, you're going to refer to the work with me.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I want to hope that having ACs in this hall will be one of them. Thank you. I like he has something to say.
Good thing.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And good afternoon to my seniors and my juniors. And happy celebration to the icon of this day. Sir, yes. I learned one thing now, and that is, only in the transfer tower in Google. I don't know where you get to. Only I say that here. You can't see it, sir.
I can hear you. Oh, I can hear you.
I said, you transfer what you used to do then to those of us, especially my people here. Because no junior. Where is our show? Where is our show, sir? Those people they used to bully us and make my people. They took over from them. But I used to tell them that should be bullying people, do this. So they would put me aside. That is just one of the factors. Sir, one of my questions is,
okay,
what is your high and low point of coming to Boys High School? And two, how do you manage to secure? Yes. How do you manage to secure? Understand, with all what you have said about Satan, another. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
I can tell you my low point. This is interesting. My first day here, we arrived on a Friday, Saturday, I think, and school was on the morning. We were in the boarding house. In those days, when you arrived, I think a letter of admission would say, assign you to a house. I was assigned to Obusa house. So I arrived at the boarding house, and the house captain of Obusa house was a gentleman called Yemi Ogunbiyi. So I arrived and I checked in. The very first day in school, it's not the same hall, but this is school hall. We came in and Mr. Lassie came in, principal, and told there was so much noise. So he told us to shut our eyes and put our hands up. And I remember where it was the hall, and he used to sit where the people are sitting, so that's where his table was. And he would come in and conduct the morning devotion. When he said we should shut our eyes, and I shut my eyes, but then I opened my eyes and I was trying to figure out where he was, and he caught me and whipped me so much. The whipping was so bad that it left lacerations on me. It was my first day. I have never forgotten it. And I said to myself, this is a funny guy who opened my eyes. He came down, apparently he had his whip. As he came out, he caught me. I was a little kid, I was 19 years old. I will not forget that experience. My high point high point of my career here was an incident that I can recall in this book. It was not a happy occasion, but it then showed me what I could do, what I could, how I could handle a very difficult situation. In December of 1965, the Operation Wet was at its high point. People were being killed, and one evening, we used to have an open field here, and there was no school fence. And the dogs from outside came into the compound. That day was the first time we saw the soldiers. They were around, and there was some shooting. When they started shooting, there was a lot of stampede. We didn't have a gate in the boarding house. It was just an open gate into the tennis court area. We didn't have a boarding house master. Mr. What is his name now? Again. So I came out about midnight. The shooting was so much that I came out at midnight. Remember, I was only 17 years, 18 years old. So when I came out, a young officer confronted me and said, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I was senior prefect, but the person to my right is Akyolusi." And he said, did anybody come in here?" I said, "No." And he said, "Look, you guys must go back to your room. There's a lot of shooting going on there. There are a lot of cops now. Don't leave your room. It's not safe for you to come out." And we tried to explain, but later it turned out the next morning that the few killings had taken place outside the all residence. Looking back at that, and I said to myself, I got recommendation for this experience, both from the of the principal. It was, for me, the test of my leadership as senior prefect on a level that I didn't think I could handle like that. I was a kid, I was 18 years old. But it was a very tough and improvement for me. It's a moment I remember. And when I meet young kids who behave responsibly, I said to them, when I was younger, we did things responsibly. It's a point of that forgotten in my life. That was for me the high point of my career. As for girlfriends, no, it has the last question.
Last question. He said, how did you secure Yahudi?
Oh, that's the question. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I met Yahudi. Oh, we were both undergraduates at Ibadan. And we were both in the Faculty of Arts. We both read English. And we met. And before you do it, one thing led to another. And we're heading as a hair school. So but the good thing about that is that Yellow and I have been married for 51 years. We have been married for 51 years. 51 years that I have not once regretted, and I'm grateful for. And which was why in writing this book, I dedicated this book to her.
Wow.
For being so tolerant of my excesses, of my shortcomings. So that answers the question, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Just to let you know that the road never forgets. Book is out there for sale, going for 25,000 naira. Let us appreciate truly the icon for today, Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi, by purchasing this book. I said that I was going to go to each table to take a comment and a question. So I'm going to come to this other table here. Please, can we have water for our icon? He's been talking for a while now. It's water. Right, so I'm going to Dr. Oduroye, who's busy eating and what? Okay, so it's very busy. I'll come back to him. Even the person raising his hand still also eating, but can you manage it? Okay. Your name and your state and the question.
My name is Stephen.
Your name is sorry?
Stephen Olakideji Ogunriyi.
Okay.
I'm based in Lagos.
I'm based in Lagos. I belong to the 74 set. I am quite comfortable for the way it was introduced to the questions. I rose my interest. I want to commend the book, especially in the area of giving us a more deeper insight of the history of our history between the years of the 50s and 60s is not documented anywhere. You see so many histories over time, but we find that names and the roles of key players came to know that again. But not before that, we had Professor Okoto. But what roles they play, I think this book has given us this insight. And I think with this encouragement, the tradition and the heritage of IBHS is being strengthened. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now I'm coming to this table. This table has a lot of agents. That I know so well. I'm coming to you now. You are not started eating. Yes. You don't want to talk today. To you, sir. Okay. Oh, yes. It's Take's birthday today, but he chose to be here. Shall I come to you, sir? What do you know the questions will be? Okay, doctor. A comment or a question? Are you ready? Okay, let me to this other table. And then after 2 questions or 2 comments, I'm going to take the organizing committee. I understand they have something to say.
All boys. My name is Musari Abidjan, 91 to 96 set. I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm very elated in the sense that I got to know Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi, not physically. When I was in UI, I'm a student of literature from the Department of Linguistics, Yoruba Literature, precisely. So when I was writing my thesis for my master's class, I used his literary works. And I'm very proud of him, of the fact that he and an alumnus of this global school. I'm very, very proud of him. We pray to see more of you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So the hearing 72 cents, 80 cents, finally we had a 90 cents.
Wow.
Which is really good. I'm coming to you, sir. So I'm going to go back to this table. He performed earlier on a song together with the icon we're celebrating today. I believe this is not another performance, it's a question of comments.
Thank you very much, sir. Actually, it's an honor for me to be here. And listening to you, sir, I really have this challenge about your mother being an Igbo woman and your father being a Yoruba man. I married a Yoruba woman from the Gateway. I know almost all my children speak Yoruba. So I've learned something from what you have just narrated, and I'm going to work assiduously on making sure that my children perfect their Igbo language speaking. That is number one. Then number two, you know, I used to say, and not really me, my sense group used to say that I was the first art student to become a senior prefect. I think they know now that I wasn't the first in the history of Boys High School to become a senior prefect as an art student. Secondly, I want to ask you, who was your best teacher while in school? And how did you commend, if the person is still alive today, how did you commend him or her? Thank you very much.
The best teacher in school, sir.
My best teacher, that's a difficult, this is something I never thought of really. That's a difficult question for me because well, maybe my favorite teacher, rather my best. I think my favorite teacher, surprisingly, was a teacher who didn't quite teach me past Form 2. His name was Oshuyejo, Papa Oshuyejo. He was my favorite teacher. He taught us nature study. And Papa Oshuyejo, and I said in my book, I mentioned in my book, and he was the one man I know who he was teaching us plants, and he spoke to plants, he talked to plants, as if plants were handling the offering. He was a interesting old man. And when I was living from 5, he gave me a little book and said to my son, the future ambassador of the United Nations. I mean, I never was him. I never became an ambassador. Let alone out of the UN. But he was particular, and he taught me only 2 years. But I never forgot him. The old man who took it. I have a little place, my home, which has a lot of garden. And anytime I see the garden, my mind goes back to him. I know he passed 7 years ago. I wrote about him in the book. He's in my book. I mentioned in the book. Oh, he was my favorite teacher. Even though, as I said, he didn't teach me beyond my first 2 years.
Thank you very much. The road never forgets the memoirs of our icon being celebrated today. Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi is still 25,000 naira. Let's appreciate him by picking up a copy. We have another question here.
No, I'm also. Yes, Prof. How are you, sir? Yes, sir.
My name is
Professor Yeko. Yes, sir. I know, sir.
I wanted to say, if I could help me thank God, when I entered when I experienced, second, to come out the next step, the month when we came in, and ten preachers. Then, you remember the original organism,
Yes.
Several others. Ask to, out of those prefects, whether you recollect any among them, they were very kind and helpful to you, and those were either or half to you during that 1 year spent together.
Yes, sir. The answer there is very simple. The best senior I had in this school in my 5 years was Honoree. And he was a senior prefect when I was in Form 1. He was an amazing human being. He was the best senior I had in all my 5 years in this school. I will say that, but it's not like the first person I was outside about my favorite teacher. Honoree stands out, put out there. In my memory, it stands out today. It was amazing. And I remember his last day at school, December, he was leaving. I went to see him. Remember, I was a little kid, I was in Form 1. I went to see him. I said, you must give me something to keep so that I can always remember you. And he looked at me and said, this little boy, what can I give you? I said, let me give you. Then he looked around and found an exercise book. And he wrote on it to my little boy. I kept it for many years. It was just an exercise book. I was just playing exercise book. He gave it to me and said, you must keep this. I went to see him. I said, give me something which once I see it, I will always remember it. He was an amazing guy. You know, he was head boy, but he didn't carry it on. He didn't wear it. Some senior prefect guy. Now, the senior prefect after him was Honoree. After that, young man called he read medicine. I have his name in the book. Then of course I've come with Europe. And then I started. But he stood up. He was an amazing person, very kind. I don't recall him ever punishing any of us. He spoke to us in a way that corrected him. So what I thought it was all about. And looking back, sir, I may have copied something from him when I became senior prefect. I think in my head, I learned to give some things from him, even as a young one student. Yes. Thank you for asking me that because I read to.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And the two bands.
I was going to say that I'm going to leave copies of the book in the school library, copies in the school library. And I will, before we leave, I would like to especially thank Papa Mao for the work he has done for this school. You may not know it, but from a distance, we all adore him. And may I ask us to be upstanding as we thank Papa Mao again for the work he has done on the school. And I want to assure him that I will surpass the work he has done for the school. I will surpass it. So I want to thank him again. And I say, Papa, you live long, sir. And when you have good, sir, and you walk with one, sir. And when you Papa, when you are 100 years old, I will be standing by you, saying, but I told you you're 100 years old. We thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Please be seated. Please be seated.
Very much. So at this juncture, I know that we have more questions. If I leave us to keep asking this question, we will not leave here today. But you know, I will take caution because I'm coming to Rear Admiral Sir Gomez to ask this question, and that will be the final question, so that I can allow our icon to have his meal. Over to you now, sir.
It's my pleasure to ask a fellow senior prefect and a member of the Hall. Sir, there is a strong issue. brother, question. Me, Old Boys Association. That is the issue of really employing the body facility. May I know the opinion on this issue? If you may wish to share your ideas, way to go about it.
Thank you, Andrea. I've been following the very spirited exchange on the Old Boys platform. By the way, let me say this, that I just amazed at the passion that has transpired on the Old Boys platform. I mean, I belong to other, but I've not seen anything so passionate. And I hope that it's productive, because sometimes passionate exchanges also can be productive. But I want to commend all of us for the kind of passion we should exchange views on the platform. I found it very, very strong, but very liberating in many ways. So I know that on that platform, as we just talk about the boarding facility, I think I owe my honest achievements here to what happened to me in the boarding house. Boarding house was vital to my quote-unquote achievements in this school. I would love for us to bring the boarding facilities back. And I want to assure you, Admiral, that I will play my role in whatever you ask me to do, whatever the president asks me to do. I will be prepared to assist in helping to bring back the boarding facility. I believe in it, and I think it's something that we should encourage. I know that there's been some concern as to who will manage it. But when we get to that bridge, which I'm crossing, let's first agree that it's something we should do. Then, as we proceed, we'll agree on how to manage the boarding house. But I think it's a brilliant idea. We should all subscribe to it. I believe in it. I think the benefits far outweigh the problems that we can have with it. That's my view, sir. That's my view.
Thank you very much. I'd like us to give our honoree an icon for today, a roused, robust applause. As he makes his way back to his sit over here. Thank you very much. Let us say thank you also to Mr. Tayo Obey, who has anchored this session brilliantly. Thank you very much. Thank you. A photo op, please be seated. Please be seated. Okay. Yes. We will do photo op after the vote of thanks. So thank you very much. I'd like to ask Mr. Shegun Ayodeji to be outstanding and make his way to the microphone. He's one of the organizing committee of this event, a member of the organizing committee. I hear that the lead is away in the UK. They have an able representative, Mr. Shegun Ayodeji, who will be saying a few words about the committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening to all of us, and we thank God for giving us this day. I must say that this initiative of time out with IBHS icon somehow is one of those things that some moments they define things, how things go. It so happened that there's a senior Lashko. He was the one that posted the visit of Dr. Ogunbiyi to the school. And immediately when I saw the pictures, of him with all the students and all that, I just picked up my phone and I sent something to Senior Tibu, that's Senior Taiwo. Sir, 16 this and this and this. Then he replied to me that, well, no collect exact word, but it was like, nothing is impossible, it is philosophy. And that was how, the idea of this event came up. If not for him, we may not likely have this event. And I'm so happy that we had, let me do this, please. Let me call members of the team to be here with me. They've been acting like waiters, saying, courage you, senior, help me. Sir, is our most senior in the team. So I'm trying to get those who are present here. Senior Latif is not here. Well, our team lead is based in the UK. That's Senior Shegun Adejumo. And we have Senior Adekoki. Although it was like an observer on the team, but he has played a major role in having us having this little success we have. But we thank God. Sonia, well, we are thankful to God. The basic objectives are being fulfilled. One of the basic objectives really is, as we have seen today, to embrace our icon. We've had questions about, what have you done, this and that. But sometimes it is when someone is closer to you that they really get to do more. So we are thankful for this day. IBHS has so many icons. We can only start from somewhere. God's plan in our lives. You see, like someone has said earlier, we don't want to do posthumous. Let us celebrate ourselves while we are still very much around. And may we live to see more of this, to celebrate more of ourselves. And one of the last part of the objective has actually been fulfilled here today. When you go, when you come, you want to look at, okay, what contribution has been made to the school. And I mean, Dr. Ogunbiyi is more than capable. All we need is what we are doing now to embrace him, and definitely the school and our association is going to be a whole lot better for it. So we thank God for this. There was something you said when you said air conditioning will be something. And like something I've always said, somehow, in terms of what we should be doing, we've not been caught napping. There is a set here, they are all focused for like 2 or 3 years now, has been donation of air conditioning units. What we take care of here is 12. They've given us 4. See the other one? Well, I know they've done 4. By the grace of this day, they are going to do more. Well, is the representative last of? I know, sir. Of 79 cents. They are taking special interest in the air conditioning of this hall for us. We have 4 units. We need 8 more. Well, we never can tell in a gathering like this that miracle can happen. I don't have the anointing of our elders that can say, yes, this evening we want, why not? No. This is Ibadan Boys High School. We need 8 units more to pull this place. When new visitors come, they don't get it like she has. So we never tell anybody that's interested in doing that for us. Sir, you are sweating. So we thank God for this thing, and we do know that year after year we get together like this to celebrate ourselves. Thank you so much. Sir, now. Well, in the because you can't, don't go ahead, please.
Okay, so I know what's going on, so I'm just going to buy time because, okay, you finished eating, so you can do the presentation. I don't think this should be left to both of you. I think we should be calling the national president of IBHS, Professor Honoree, to please come and join us here. No, just stay. He will come and he will present Okay, I also want to call the Vice President to join. Sir Gomez, please. This is important. This is the signature of everyone here this afternoon. It is a very significant gift to give out, and I'd like these 2 leaders to do the presentation along with members of the organizing committee. So I'm going to pass the mic to Prof to say a few words as we do the presentation.
It is my pleasure. We are waiting for you to finish your mouth. It's my pleasure to present this to you. Members, the main speakers, everybody that is around. Please, you will next time you look at thank you. You will always remember this day. Once again, congratulations. Wish you a long life, good health, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Paparazzi, this is your time. You have to capture this very well. Yellow day man, you have to join daddy. This is a moment of honor. I can imagine this is going to earn a spot at the living room, a testament of the goodwill of the alumni of the IBHS today. There you go. Paparazzi, are you having a great moment? There you go. Courage is missing. Courage, come here. To the edge of your hand. There you go. Congratulations, ma. Congratulations, sir. to the concluding part of the event today, the second edition, Time Out with IBHS Icons. This is the second edition. We'd like to thank all of you, remarkable, distinguished people in your own right, for making our time to come. It's not in my place to give the vote of thanks. And so I'm going to invite Mr. Shevadidej to come back and do his vote of thanks. That was the presentation he did. It's time now to say thank you as a member of the organizing committee.
All glory to God for giving us this day. The rain came to be a blessing still. We want to thank our elders seated here. Baba Mao, Ari Pepe Baba, Edidi, Ewa, Bawa Shele, Etuba Shoko Sisa, Ire, Olojo Amarisa, Etuba Befwa, Laborolo. Our elders in the house, our baptized, Prof, no, you know, Etuba Befwa, sir. By God's grace, well, like I said, we have so many icons which are go around for us to celebrate all our elders. And we called on Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi, and you honored us, God will continue to honor you, sir. And it's gladdening in our hearts that by this event, the passion you had for IBHS, this has created, an enabling spirit for you to further identify and embrace us. And for everybody who took the time to be here, we thank all of you. We have come in peace. May God grant us journey mercies to our various destinations. Thank you so much. And I must thank you, man, for adding color, especially when boys see girls, as we can see from even way back. Who could ever have thought for Baba Shady Peters doing STC runs? But now we know better. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. That's the vote of thanks. But before we go, I'd like to reiterate what our icon today said earlier on, is giving 2 copies of his memoirs to the library. And I think he deserves an applause for that, but I understand that we're tired already. So 2 copies of his memoirs at 25K each is donating to the library of the school here. And if you'd like to buy, and you should, it's 25,000 naira. It's over there for sale. Now we have to break out and take our photographs. So we can all step up to the stage here, or perhaps here. Let us take photos with the icon, Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi today. We're taking photographs now. This book is 25,000 naira. It's up for sale. That's the memoirs of our icon who is celebrating today, Dr. Yemi Ogunbiyi. 25,000 naira, you can purchase it at the entrance there. It's 25,000 naira, please pick a copy. Let's take our photos now. Thank you very much for my belay. Yes. Proudly IBHS. I did go to St. Teresa or St. Anne's. Yeah, proudly all us. And it's been a joy being your director of programs today. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you for the honor and the privilege of being part of your event. Thank you so much. My name is Anika Ade, Weekend Treasurer. Thank you so much. Now thank you. Let's take our photos now. The photographer is here. All sets, please. All sets, please. All sets. You are not ready to take your
Àníkẹ́ ló jóyè o. Kí ni màá rí fún o? Tó dùn fún ní. Àníkẹ́ ló jóyè o bíbí. Kí ni màá rí fún o? Akọni tó dùn fún o. Pólísì sí kọ́tò tó sí ìlà.